politics. 45 Senate Democrats have signed a letter saying no tax cuts for the 1%. Congressman Jim Renacci, Republican from Ohio and a member of the Tax Writing Committee, is with us now. Mr. Sir, you're not going to get any help from the Democrats, are you?
Well, look, we haven't been able to get any help from the Democrats all along. That's a problem, but we can still move something forward. I'm still a big believer that if we get our budget passed out of the House, we get reconciliation instructions with a little bit of flexibility, because we have to be able to maybe not be deficit neutral, and we move that forward, we can get it done without the Democrats, and we have to. We have to be able to lower tax rates.
Okay.
I mean, when I'm here in Ohio, people continue to talk about it. And remember, Stuart, they keep talking about the 1%ers, but the problem is so many small businesses actually pass their income through onto their personal tax return. Those are the 1%ers because their income, their business income is on there. That's 60% of the business income in this country. We've got to be able to do something for them.
We've got to be able to do something. We have to do something. We must do something. I've heard it. Okay, but you know the calendar here. There are only 12 days between now and the end of September, when the House and Senate are both in session together. 12 days, that's it. You have to get a budget deal and a debt ceiling deal done in those 12 days. I put it to you, Congressman, that's awfully hard, if not impossible.
Well, look, I've often said in Washington we wait too long. I was in the business world for 30 years. You can't operate at the last minute. We do that too often in Washington. But I will tell you, we can get this done. It's one of the reasons why I was supportive of moving the budget bill out of the Budget Committee. We have to get it now out of the House and the Senate, and then we have to do a reconciliation package to get it done.
We keep saying we have to do this. We have to do this. You got 12 days to do a budget and a debt ceiling. That's it. I mean, you can understand the skepticism on the part of most voters and say, you know, you're up against the wall here time-wise.
Well, again, that's why I say we shouldn't wait till the last minute. I do agree, and voters are concerned, and I am concerned too, but I do know we can get it done. If we got to go back early, we go back early. This is one thing in the real world real Americans have to do all the time.
What happened to the ending of the August recess? The House is already on August recess.
Well, I agree, and like I said, I was willing to stay, and I'm willing to go back early, and I think many of my colleagues would be willing to get back early if we knew there was a path, and I do believe there is a path. We have to get this budget passed out of the House and the Senate, and we have to have the reconciliation instructions giving us the opportunity to get something done with tax cuts. That's probably the best we're going to be able to do. There's no way to do comprehensive tax reform in 12 days.
Right.
I agree with you there, but there is a way to get something done that the President wants to get done, and we need to support what the President wants to get done and move this forward.
This something that you talk about, it has to be a very simple tax cut for individuals, and that means small businesses, and a tax cut on the corporate tax rate. You've got to slim it down to that. Is that doable?
Well, see, I'm supportive of that. I might not have said that 3 or 4 months ago, but I am supportive of cutting taxes. We have to. Look, we've had enough hearings. I'm very happy that we started to have a hearing process. Here's what we heard in the one hearing. We have to cut rates. We have to make it territorial, and we got to do it now. This is what's important about regular order. You hear this when you have hearings, so it's out there. Let's get these tax cuts done. And there are some people that say, well, we got a deficit problem. I do understand that, and I agree. I'm on the Budget Committee. But at the same time,
I thought Republicans all agreed we must repeal and replace Obamacare, and we didn't. And now we're being told, oh, Republicans all agree we must cut taxes.
Well, again, that's Washington as usual. It's one of the frustrations I have. I voted multiple times for repeal and replace. I've now signed on to a straight repeal, which I thought I will never do, but we have to do something. I've signed on to a resolution to get that done. I believe we have to do that as well. But we can't wait any longer. We are now 6, 7 months into this President's administration. We have to be able to support the President and move some of his policies through. He was elected to get some of this done. The American people want it to get done, and Congress now has to do it.
Congressman, I always thank you for appearing on the program, because I keep badgering you about getting it done. And I know I'm a skeptic, but we appreciate your response, and thanks for being here today, sir. Much obliged.
Thank you, Stu.